And right now, at the time.
We got them for resolutions?
Yeah, it's clarification. I'm sure I had to find a place on Lake Norris. Get an offering on it.
You ready?
Oh, Richard, you were the only one.
Down there. I would love $800,000. With the resolution, we have the vote on it. Yeah. Sleeps in the bar.
Anybody else?
I'm ready to,
Another meeting right here.
I'm burnt out.
We'll call to order the January 11th, 2021 redevelopment meeting, 4:30 PM for Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Ms. Brookbank, can we get a roll call?
Executive Director Brian Messmore.
Here.
President Richard Richardson.
Present?
Vice President Lenny Fryman.
Here.
Secretary Kevin Schaefer.
Here.
Member Sarah Jordan. Here. Member Brian Johnson.
Present.
Lawrenceburg School Board Member Brian Jansen is absent, and City Attorney Del Walden.
Here.
All right, thank you. If everybody's had a chance to review the meeting minutes from the previous meeting, we'll take a motion to approve those.
I motion to approve the minutes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Messmore, do we have any announcements for this meeting?
No, I just, other than that fact that, we are in the process of transferring the money that we voted on and agreed to move to Main Street for the 2021 business incentive, and there's activity in the community and things are good, and I appreciate your support on that strategy. Thank you.
Ms. Brookbank, do you have a financial report for us tonight?
Yes, I do. As of January 6th, 2021, the balance for redevelopment is $1,340,247.43. And after monies towards projects, it's $1,295,500.33.
Anybody have any questions on that? All right, under new business, I'll throw that over to Director Messmore. We've only got one item, the 2020 annual report to the mayor, and I will say Mayor Milan is here tonight.
Yes, and I will defer to Ms. Brookbank to describe the annual report as prepared every year to the mayor, and she puts it together for us, so I will let you introduce the product of your efforts.
Oh, no, you just did. It's an annual reporting requirement. It just sums up the monthly activities of the board. Definitely have to document all of the financials, any expenditures that were a large sum, you'll see on there. Due to COVID, we didn't have as many meetings, so those are noted as well on here. If you guys have any questions or think that there's something that I missed, let me know. Otherwise, it's in your packets for review.
All right, appreciate that. That's the only item that I have under new business. Does anybody have any additional new business that we don't have listed? All right, we'll move on to old business, and we have Dell with some updating of resolutions, I believe.
Yes, sir, thank you. If it pleases the redevelopment commission, what you have, it was not in your packets, but I handed out before the meeting are 3 resolutions, essentially identical in nature other than the parcel number, which we're using at the parcel ID number, as well as the common address for these 3 parcels. These are parcels that were already agreed to be purchased and voted on and approved to be purchased at a public meeting. This is merely a resolution codifying that for the underwriter and the title company they're doing the closing. So they requested these resolutions be done. I know we haven't done these before, but we'll just do them in the future just to be safe. And this will complete our preliminary phase for securing this property and making the purchases. The closings will be set, and those should happen relatively quickly. And we'll take possession of those properties and pay for them.
You want to get a motion on each one of these individually, I assume?
However it pleases the commission, we could do them together or individually.
Let's take them.
I do have
one at a-
one correction, if we can, am I allowed to, Del?
Yes, of course.
Can we just mark out land and put lane on resolution number 2?
So.
Or is it supposed to be land?
Well, that's the way it's recorded.
As
so,
land instead of lane?
Yeah.
Okay,
I
just
think a
making
mistake
sure.
was made way back when, and the nature of property is just that, every letter matches, so
Okay,
lane became land, and we'll just stay that way.
okay.
All right, we will have resolution of the Redevelopment Commission 1-2021. That is for property at 323 Lake Street in
236
Lawrenceburg.
East High.
What's that?
The first one is 236 East High.
Put that on top. You should be good.
All right, we'll do
Sorry.
resolution 1-2021 for 236 East High Street, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Do we have a motion to approve resolution 1-2021?
I'll make a motion.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Have a second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll have resolution number 2-2021, and that will be for 323 Lake Street.
322 Cook, sorry.
That will be for 322 Cook Land, as it is written. Of course, it's Cook Lane, in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Do we have a motion to approve resolution 2-2021?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. And we'll have resolution 3-2021. That will be for 323 Lake Street, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. Do we have a motion to approve resolution 3-2021?
I motion.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
And if everybody's, does anybody have any additional old business? Everybody's had a chance to review the claims that were presented to us in our packets. I'll take a motion to approve those.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Lenny seconds. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we've come to the audience comments section. We've got a call-in number. If anybody does have any comments that they'd like to call in and make, that is 812-496-3341. I'll read that again. It is 812-496-3341. You'll have to enter a conference call ID number. That is 695529. I'll say that once again. It is 695529. And we'll give about a minute or so for response.
Can I make a comment?
Yes, sir.
Director and Commissioner. First of all, on behalf of myself and the city, I just want to thank the RDC for, I think, a very successful 2020. Lots of things happening in Lawrenceburg, and you all play a very, very large part of that. I appreciate your professionalism and your insight into different business dealings and things like that. That's the way we should be handling our business. And I do appreciate how you do it in the open, in the meetings as well. What I want to say about 2021 is, believe it or not, and Director Messmore can attest to this for me, or with me, we've had more activity over the last 3 months about people wanting to come to Lawrenceburg than prior to COVID. Why? We don't know exactly why. Although we have proven that we've been able to do some things through the COVID that most other municipalities maybe didn't want to tackle. I'm just hoping that they want to come here because it's a long-term move. So you're going to see a lot of activity coming forward, I believe, in the upcoming months. Obviously, the Flaherty and Collins project is up and going, and if you haven't been down there by it lately, a lot of concrete's been poured. It's moving right along as scheduled. But I think you're going to see a lot of things come before redevelopment in the upcoming months that is really fruit from what you all have done in the last year. And I really believe that. So I just wanted to thank you for that, because your success is our success and my success. And And I think that, you know, we're all working on the same page here. And I think that's the most important thing that we can do for the community. And just, you know, keep in mind, you know, we're always open for business, and whatever, you know, if you have somebody ringing your bell or in your ear, send them our way. We'll be happy to talk to them. Mr. Messmore and I think have a couple of appointments this week with a couple of newer developments possibly. So just want to keep that moving. We don't want to be stagnant. We're going to invest in the right things. We're going to invest in things that'll pay dividends 20, 30 years from now. You know, that's the motto. That's the way we've been from the very beginning, and that's the way we're going to be. It's not about just spending money or building things. It's about building and spending money on the right things. So I wanted to thank you guys the first year, you know, first meeting of the year, and for everything you guys have done. And I look forward to 2021 as well. So it'll be a good one. So just stay busy.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
Mayor.
Thank you.
Ryan, is there any updates you wanted to give us on maybe the Sherpa program or anything else?
I was a little concerned about time. I don't know what I brought with me, but let me see.
You know, I just thought something might tickle your fancy.
Yeah, well, I've got 2 notebooks and a long list, so I'll just filter through here and give you an update on a couple of things. So you mentioned that. So we have a subgroup working on being myself and Jenny and Michelle, and on business retention and attraction, or BRE. And so we just with their collaboration completed draft documents, 1-pagers to talk about the Redevelopment Commission attraction and retention grants. Again, they're still kind of draft, but the idea was, when we have these opportunities, we need to be quick, nimble, and be able, you know, our potential business partners need to be able to understand what we have and be comfortable with it. And so as we do that, we establish a relationship with Michelle and with Jenny, and we put our arms around the new business and try to make them feel comfortable and direct them and help them find all the resources that they need, so that the barrier of the unknown is minimized. So that's where we're at with that one. We still have the Small Business Action Grant. We have for new businesses, we have the Small Business Action Grant. For existing business, we have the Commercial Exterior Improvement Grant. We have the Residential Exterior Improvement Grant, and we also have the Blade and Sign grants as well. So we have the same the grants that we did last year, and again, we voted to refund those programs. Also, the new Home Purchase Assistance Grant, that's still there. We didn't have to transfer any money because we had a balance there. So those things have worked well for us. We did shift a little money, I think, out of sign and awning to, or maybe out of awning to, I don't remember, just a small amount, just because we didn't use some, we had run out in the other. So I didn't bring well, maybe I did. No, I'll just let that one go. But it's all the same. We just shifted a minor amount of money to, based on last year's consumption of those resources. I still got some time. You want me to keep going?
No, if that's what you want to talk about, if that's all you got, that's all you got.
Oh, I got all kinds.
Can you make the point that, you know, the residential grants are open to people up on the hill?
Well, that's
as
correct.
well?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of times they think maybe it's just for downtown, but it's not.
Yeah, so the comment made was, we were talking about the Residential Exterior Improvement Grant. Several years ago, we expanded that. It was originally designed for the redevelopment area, which is primarily the levy district, but a few years ago, we expanded that to the citywide. So anybody in the city can apply for the Residential Exterior Improvement Grant.
And I'd like to attest to that for a minute. I'm selling a house over on Fox Drive, a cul-de-sac community down there by the casino, and that's a selling point of a home in Lawrenceburg, is that grant money is available if people want to, you know, renovate their exterior, and I love it. So it's been a real positive from that standpoint.
We just had somebody take advantage of it on Heiner Heights, I believe. And that's one of those kind of hidden streets in Lawrenceburg, but they have access to that just like everybody downtown. So definitely opened it up for the better, I think.
Councilman Noppert just walked in, and him and I had a discussion here a couple days ago, and he may have talked to some of you about it, or Director Messmore, but, and I don't want to steal his thunder because it's his idea. But I'm not against expanding these programs, okay? If it can incorporate another group of owners, okay? And we don't need to talk about it tonight, but I think we need to get everything put before them, because Councilman Noppert has a really good idea going forward that I'm in total agreement with, but it'll affect a whole different group of owners downtown and up on the hill that also may need some help, revitalizing the exterior of their place. And we just, like I said, any new ideas and stuff that we can develop is fine. We're not just trying to throw money at stuff. What we're trying to do is make sure that, we've thrown a lot, we have a lot of great programs that people take advantage of. We want more people to be able to take advantage of it, because in the long run, it does nothing but helps all of Lawrenceburg. There's nothing worse than living next door to somebody that, okay, you fixed your house up nice, you took out maybe a grant down at Main Street, and you put your money in and they put their money in, and but your neighbor maybe doesn't qualify for that because of it maybe a non-owner occupied residence, where maybe we might be able to help that, and then you got everybody on the street looking good. It does nothing but help everybody's assessed values, and assessed value means higher taxes, property taxes. I understand that, but that's where our investment is really going. So I won't steal your thunder, because he's got a lot of great ideas about it, but it's coming. It'll be coming before you.
Hey, it's on the programming list, and I have had an opportunity to begin some of those discussions. So it would be, as it's framed now, non-owner occupied residential, because the commercial exterior is for the owner. So it's kind of along those lines. We just got to kind of figure out a budget for it, and what the match will be, what kind of investment we want from the private. In turn, what does that get you in turn from public? So we'll have to mess around with those numbers, and we'll bring some recommendations to the board. Let's see. I don't know if everybody's noticed, but there is a barber shop downtown. They're not quite open yet, but it's a.
Do they have an opening date?
I think it was in. I haven't got the date, because I've asked for the date.
I got to get my hair cut.
They have discounts for that.
I think it's the
Okay.
14th. I think I seen a date of the 14th.
Okay, it was within 2 weeks, but I mean, it's
Dell's going to be the first one.
yeah. It's
He said
You
Dell
know.
will do it till COVID's gone.
I think the 14th is the Affordable Tax Consultants.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
right.
that's
It
that
is.
day.
That's
Yeah.
the ribbon cutting.
So anyway, it's a nice little shop. It looks great inside. I'm really looking forward to, the activity that helps bring to High Street, and there are some of us in here that could use a haircut.
This guy
it's
had
been a
that
while.
Teen Wolf, Michael J. Fox thing going on.
It's been a while since we got a few more minutes. I'm going to touch on two other items real quickly. It's been a while since we talked about Maple Street. Maple Street are the vacant lots down there a couple blocks over. I think everybody's familiar with those two lots by now. Lenny, you know where I'm at?
Yes, sir, I know where you're at.
Okay, thank
We
you.
spent an hour on that the other day.
Okay. So there's a story behind that, but we'll talk about that later. But no, we struggled with that property for a long time. We were able to get and utilize the Brownfields grant to do some further soil analysis on that property. And the experts say that is, you know, depending on the type of development there, it is suitable for residential development. Depending on the type of a development may determine the exposure to remediation. So I think the document that we have now, if we were to, for example, put an RFP out for and create some development standards for what we think we would be appropriate for that area, we could hand that document to a developer, and it would be their job to figure out that information and determine what the impact of their type of development is based on those soil analysis. So I think we're almost there. There's a conference call tomorrow. I got Mario sitting on with me to help understand those things. But so that's good news. You know, the question is, what's our vision and what's our expectation over there? Obviously, I think single family owner occupied is where we generally start. You know, could they look like the old row houses? Could they look like the town? Could they be, you know, some variation, some more high density kind of housing over there, or 4 or 5 lots? I don't really know that, but you know, between the RFP and, you know, some discussion, we'll probably get some pretty good ideas out of it. So it's been a long time to get here. I think we're almost there. And then the only other thing I'll touch on so we can vacate the room and get the next group in is the row house. We've messed around with that row house for several years, and I do have all the technical specification drawings back, and we're at the point where it is likely that I can get an engineering estimate for what it would take to structurally repair those row houses and put a new exterior wall on. And I'm thinking once we have that number, then we need to determine what our end game is with that property. We are meeting very shortly on that to try to make sure we understand and how we can do that. But it's likely, the one time we put it out for bid to see what the costs were going to be, and then we said no thanks. And I think that we don't want to put our developers through that. I think if we get our own, and I'll take some feedback on this at any time, but engineering, a pretty accurate engineering estimate based on those specifications, we'll have a pretty good handle on, you know, if we want to go ahead and have it bid out to do that, or if we want to make that part of an incentive package and sell it on the market with, you know, some combination of incentives. But I think, again, once we have that number, we need to decide what the end game is before we do anything else. For example, one line of thought is we have that number, we put both of those properties up for sale together, and either fix it and then get some money back, either make it a combination deal, try to incentivize somebody to buy it. I would just think if we go to the extent to fixing it and trying to fill it, I think we're going to get drugged down a path of more investment. And I think we got to find out where we can cut ourselves out at and let the market take over. I mean, it's a beautiful historic building. Part of our responsibility is to preserve those historic buildings in our community. So, you know, being in this to some degree is okay. We just got to figure out where okay is and where we can turn it back over to the market.
As you get your information, you'll just put it on a future agenda.
Yeah.
That we'll discuss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question on that. Has there been an appraisal as is on the property recently?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's been appraised, it's been advertised, and We have had some interest at one point in time, but that didn't work out. So,
Well, I think the mayor has an excellent point about the buzz of Lawrenceburg and people moving to this area. And I work in real estate every day, and I could see a major value of listing that in the Cincinnati tri-state market. I think there's a lot of opportunity for private investment in our area. And why not? I mean, if we could put a price on it that the city would be willing to part with the property for, I think you can hire a real estate company to do the marketing up front and get it out there on the market, and get a private investor that can come in with a lot of capital and make it a really unique property. So.
yes, sir. Your meeting's next. It's on you now.
All right, I'll make it fast. Thank you for those comments, Ms. Jordan. And that's something that I've kind of been talking a little bit more to Mr. Messmore and some others about, just allowing the market to dictate kind of what we do. And just because things are moving forward in the city of Lawrenceburg, I feel like we have a little bit more leverage than we have in the past. I guess one question with that particular building, is it in condemnation right now in regards to structurally unsafe, or is it is not? So I mean, I know we want to make it, we want to, the engineering, we had estimates, upward of $600,000 before to redo that wall. I guess one question is does the wall really need to be redone, or is there some other accommodations that could be made by a private investor if they bought it to fix that up for a lot cheaper? It seems like everything costs more when government gets involved. So I think that is a good question, that we talk about the balance of, private investment versus our contribution. And if a private investor, if they redid that place, if they would truly need to do a $600,000 wall, or if they could fix it up with their engineers to how they want it for $150,000, and that helps. It's good that we could provide a bridge in some of those areas, especially a building like that needs significant repair. But at the same time, people pay big bucks to make their buildings look like that on the outside. So,
Right.
So I think there's a balance of that. And I think, even with what Ms. Jordan was saying, I think that could also be connected with other properties that we have that, we could, I think with the lots that we have and houses that we've bought and torn down in the past, that we could begin to allow the market to dictate. I mean, it's a seller's market. And there's, I don't think we have to give lots away anymore. I mean, I benefited from personally myself, but I think we're at the point now where we kind of got we got some leverage and some momentum. So you guys will have a lot on your hands, because it is a good market right now.
And
It's a lot
people
going on.
can't buy something that they don't know is for sale. It's got to be advertised.
True.
Any other comments? Well, again, we will try to, or we will continue to do the comment audience section with that call-in number and that code for future reference. If anybody does want to call in with a comment or concern, you can do that, and you will be able to find the number and the conference code number within the description of the meeting on the YouTube live video. So keep that in mind for future reference, and I believe the mayor does have that set up for tonight's meeting, council meeting as well, at 6 o'clock. But if there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Our executive session was canceled.
Was it?
I thought you knew.